Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're excited for today's video. It's Saturday. On Saturdays, I do Cellar Saturday, where I drink something off the shelves behind me. And this one is pretty much directly behind me. So it is a 2014, because I brew it more than once a year. Westy 12. Super excited for this. I picked it as a beer I definitely wanted to drink during my birthday month, but again, I'm not a diva. I don't actually do a birthday month. I was just trying to pick some beers out of the cellar that I definitely want to drink this month in celebration of turning 40. Let's see. When I was, I guess 30, I paid off my student loans. I got that year's tax refund. Went to BelgiumInABox.com, ordered a case of these, and this is... I still have 5 left after this. So this is the 6th one left, but after this I'll have 5 left. I wax sealed them, so that's why it has the wax on it. Proper glassware. I'm going to pour the whole thing in here. Usually I don't do too much, and then I try to get the Instagram photo after the review, but for this beer, I'm pouring it till it's full. Leave a little bit of that sediment at the bottom. For you guys, dump it all in. Oh, that was sludgy. That was sludgy looking. Yo, this already smells fantastic. So if you don't know anything about this beer, it is a Trappist ale. It is one of the harder beers to get. Very early hyped beer, considered by some people to be the best beer brewed. If you want to try a version of it, St. Bernardus 12, much easier to get, delicious. I find that to be a tad sweeter than the Westy. But just a tad. It's also an amazing beer and much easier to get. But yeah, proper glassware. I ordered this glass when I ordered the case. Yeah, I mean, that looks like I think a quad should. It's very brown, not quite black. A little tiny bit of red at the bottom. Very little. I mean, it's a brown beer. A nice tan head, small bubbles. There were a little bit more before I started talking. I mean, it's just beautiful. How beautiful is this? Let's get into the aroma. Sweet brown bread. You get the like plum wine. I love the plum that quads can have, and this definitely has it. That brown bread, it's not quite like rye bread, but like it's in that nebula. There was some date for sure. More dates than figs, but you do get a little bit of fig. I know I said like brown bread. It's very much bread in beer form with like a kiss of molasses, almost like a nice maybe like a not quite plum jam, but like over a nice dark brown bread in beer form. It's just, this smells so freaking good. The illusion of baker's spices, more clove than anything. Nice sweetness to it, man. Almost like a honey sweetness. I could keep going. This smells awesome. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Oh my goodness. This beer always delivers. It's 9-ish years old at time of review. Probably told this story before. It was a Belgian quad, and I'll never remember which one, so I'll always be chasing that dragon, where I had it very aged, and it just blew my mind. It was like liquid candy in like the best possible way while still being beery. It was so good. And this is not that flavor intense in terms of like liquid candy. It's a very elevated, eloquent beer, and there's, like the aroma, there's just so much going on. It's all harmonious. It was, when it was fresher too, but certainly time has just melded these flavors. It follows the nose in complexity, but also in a lot of the characteristics. That brown bread, the plum wine, just plum itself, that illusion of baking spices where you almost think maybe it does have some cloves added to it. The dates, a slight caramel thing. So like I think there's a lot of overlap, like a Venn diagram of dates and caramel. They're not the exact same thing, but like that sweet, almost like caramelized sugar. Dates can kind of have that in an interesting way where it's not caramelized. You know, like you didn't actually cook down sugar, like you're making like a syrup or whatever. So like although I didn't pull caramel specifically in the aroma, you get a little bit on the taste. But again, all this stuff is like, it's like little pieces of the puzzle, you know, like nothing's too dominant. It's so creamy. It's so creamy. Little pops of like black licorice, more like anise than proper black licorice. Not proper, but like black licorice candies. Oh my goodness. This is one of those ones. It's like more of a love letter than a beer review. This is so good. This is so good. It's probably got to be about like 10% alcohol. You get just the faintest whispers of that, which work really well with everything else that's going on. In an interesting way, it kind of elevates the flavors. And yeah, that like sweet date plum kind of somewhere in those two, like between those two things, with that brown bread, like that's kind of like the through line. All that stuff together, and then there's like all these other things going on too. And again, harmonious, balance, huge flavor. It's awesome to have a beer that has such huge, impressive flavors that also at the same time is like creamy, balanced, you know, not quite decadent, but I almost want to say decadent. Like it's got everything. I mean, it's not like a hoppy bitter experience, so I guess it doesn't have everything. But I think you see why this is so highly regarded. It's not just that it's, you know, low supply, high demand. Like this beer warrants the demand. And man, yeah. But again, one more time, if you can't get it or it's really hard or expensive, like I saw, I don't remember which website it was, they were selling these stupid expensive. Get yourself some St. Bernardus. They used to brew it for these guys for Westvleteren. So it is an original kind of recipe. So it's pretty spot on. Like I said, I think it's a hair sweeter than this one. So definitely do yourself a favor, score this or at least a St. Bernardus, and you will enjoy your life if you like quads. You guys ever had this beer before? Have you ever compared it to St. Bernardus? I have, and I have a video about it, and I believe I included Rochefort 10. But I've compared this to Alive, Three Philosophers. I say a lot, and then I draw a complete blank. Chimay. But anyway, let me know, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.